Okay, hi, welcome again, everyone. Today we're going to share on the secret sauce to business success, why you need community building now. So I will present three sections. One is what is community building. The second part, I'll give you a lot of examples of businesses who leverages on community to grow their businesses. And maybe at the end of it, I will share with you the strategies of how to, validate whether you are doing is making sense, whether you're profitable or whether you're going on the right path. Right? There'll be a lot of softwares that I will show you again as usual on my screen. So without further ado, let's get started. So to me, when I did this research right on community building, I believe that it is one of the most important thing that a business must do. So what happened was I've heard about this in 2018. So we started our YouTube channel, I started our community, a small scale, and slowly building it. Correct. And MCO came, and a lot of businesses were disconnected with their customers. Disconnected with the customers means basically they couldn't even get in touch with their customers, and that's where businesses suffered. But what I noticed was during the MCO, businesses that has a community within them, yeah, were flourishing because end of the day now they can communicate with the customers directly. Customers can get in touch with them directly, and this is where it gets exciting. I mean, think about it. Right? I just want to share this with you. It's a very strong opinion. I want to share this with you. It is 2023 today. 2023 this year. And a lot of businesses, when you go to any coffee shop, when you go to any businesses, right, they don't even bother to understand who you are. They don't even bother to take even your name, your details, your contact number. People are just sitting down there, don't know what they're doing. If you come, you buy, like, you don't want to buy, you get lost, like, that kind of attitude. And I was like, what the heck? You spend so much money renovation on a building, let's say, for example, an office, a shop, okay? And when people come in, you don't even welcome them. You understand? And that's where, there's the disconnection of businesses and human capital, I would say, the consumers, the customers. And I'm perplexed that people don't actually build a community. And it's something that is very close to me. It takes a lot of time, yes. It takes a lot of money, effort, time, a lot of resources. But I believe that all businesses must focus on building community if they own a business. So today, if you're a small business owner, in the right path, in the right channel, because I want to share this with you. Okay. So, and I also want to hear your thoughts as I go along. If you want to share anything, you can just type in the chat room as usual. Lah. Okay. So here it says that customers, yeah, according to research, companies with strong communities around their brands tend to have customer retention rate is around 50% higher than those without a strong community. Okay, and I always ask this, and I want to ask you also, if you were to recommend a burger brand, what is the first thing that comes to your head? Can you just type in the chat? A burger brand. What is the first thing that comes to your head? So some of you say McD. How about the rest? What burger brands that come to your uh, mind? Let me know. All right. So most of the time, what people will say, and this is based on my many years of asking, they will say things like McD, okay, McDonald, and then they will say things like KFC. Maybe they will say things like Ramly Burger. Maybe once in a while I'll have like Texas Chicken. All right. So those are the few that is very popular. And I asked everyone, yeah, I follow through with a question. I said, are their burgers the best? On personal preferences, have you tasted better burgers? And they say, yeah. And they say, can you recommend me a burger? And they will go like, this person, this person, this person. But the first thing that people mention, it is the brand name. So having said that, building a community also, as I go along, I'll share with you, it actually has this higher customer retention. It makes people remember your brand. So it says here, 50% higher than those without a strong community. And if you realize McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, all these big companies, large corporations, they leverage on their community. And because they know that, without them, without you as a customer, they are nobody. And this is something that us as a small business owner, we can definitely learn all these things as we go along. All right. So the definition of our community building, for me, I think that, in the context of business, it refers to a group of individuals who share a common interest, passion, affinity for the brand, product, or services. You are here at DMC Champions because you like things that are digital, I will assume. You like things that is more related to digital marketing and things that can help small businesses, individual grow in terms of digitalization. That's why you have a common interest or passion or affinity for digital marketing, I will assume, right? So why do you need community? So I would think as a business owner, if you are going to start a business or you are already a business owner, sense of belonging is very important. You need to have a sense of belonging. You need to have a shared purpose, providing a community that can set a brand apart. So why is it important? Because I'm not the only one. DMC is not the only one doing digital marketing training. There are probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of people that can train digital in Malaysia. But people who build a community, I believe, that they will be in the hearts of the people. And I think that's what we want. We want to be the eyes of people, in the mind, you know, in the thoughts of people, but importantly, the heart of people. That's where you can really set a brand apart. And I can get engaged with you. And if you're a business owner, you can also engage with your customers, your most loyal customers. You can get feedback. You can foster meaningful relationship. You can do collaborations. I've worked with so many of my students doing extra businesses and students recommending more businesses. It's just the wonderful things of a community, yeah. And you need to do this, yeah. I think there's so much benefit to it. And of course, become a brand advocate who spread positive word of mouth and help attract new customers without even paying them. So sometimes if you want to pay them, you can have an affiliate program where people recommend your businesses, and you pay them a commission. But sometimes you just, word of mouth that people recommend people, and out of the goodwill of the company, we tend to give commission also. So that's what we do. And I think that, if you hire a salesperson, you can hire a a business development manager or whatever, right? They will do the marketing for you, correct? But I believe, and I think you also agree with me, the most ever powerful marketing in the world is not digital, it's not offline, it's not telemarketing. It is none of that. It is, to me, it's word of mouth marketing, because people will buy if you recommend because they trust you. Understand? Relationship is the most important thing. But businesses today, like I mentioned, they don't even want to stand up, ask the customer, who are you, can I help you, what's your name, what's your needs, what else can I help you, that kind of things. It is so fundamental apart, and business owners are not doing that. And I think that if you are a business owner, we must do this together. Okay, so that's why the need of a community, I think, is very, very important. So let's talk about benefits. Okay, all these are very superficial, very how do I say it? I mean, you and I will know all these things, but I want to just recap this, because at the end of the day, listening to this and implementing it is two different things. Correct or not? You agree with me? Listening to, oh yes, we need a community, yeah, we need to do this, but implementing it, it takes a lot of time. And today, I hope that after listening to this, the next 45 minutes, you'll be able to implement, follow through, understand, and also execute all these things. So to me, the number one is, of course, building customers' loyalty today. Today is a customer's market. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by a consumer market is they have a choice of everything. Whatever business that you're doing, I'm very sure that you have hundreds, thousands of competitors. Why must your customer choose you? Why must your customer buy from you? I think that's the most important thing that as a business owner, we need to understand. Why would I want to buy from you? Okay, we can talk about price. We can talk about the differentiation of our business, right? But most of the time, I believe that another factor that most people don't talk about, or businesses don't talk about, is because I like you, because I feel comfortable with you. That's why I'm willing to invest my money in you. So when you build customer loyalty, that makes it easier. Okay, so this is something that I want to share with you. What else we have? We have enhanced brand recognition. Yeah, we got brand. There are so many brands. I did the small test with you. It's always the burger test will be the three main fellas. Yeah, McDonald's, Ramly, KFC, maybe the bigger brands. Yeah, but what about us smaller fellas? We can also enhance our brand recognition, because end of the day, the more people are talking about you, your equity goes up. Eventually, when you want to sell your business, also people will know that who you are and what do you do. So this is very important for the next business owner also. So whatever they are doing now today, it's not just for our current businesses, but for our exit plan also. I think it's very important. So enhance the brand recognition can also increase the cost of your selling price in the very near future or the far future. Okay. Now, of course, you can increase customer engagement when you have a community and you have customers coming back to you. You can ask questions and you can get a reply. And I think that's amazing because at the end of the day, uh, customers are your best critic. Whether they hate you, whether they love you, whether they are giving you feedback. To me, it is okay, even if it's a negative feedback, because end of the day, they care. You know why I say customers who give feedback, they care? Because they want you to improve. So if they don't want you to improve, the worst thing that the customer can do to you as a business owner is everything okay? Yeah, it's okay. And then what they do is when they go back, next day they post on Facebook, they post on Google reviews, and it was a terrible review because they don't want to say in front of you because they don't trust you, or maybe they don't believe that you can change. And you know what? I mean, that's sad, right or not? So it's better to get negative feedback directly. It can be positive, can be great feedback. We learn from it, or we can embrace it. Okay, but anyway, you need to have this increased customer engagement, and I love. If you have anything to talk to me, just talk to me. Anything to come to DMC, just talk to DMC. You have the Telegram group, we have the YouTube, we have all these social media platforms for you to engage, right? So that is the benefits as a business, building a community. You should get engaged with your customers, and of course, end of the day, companies who have a community, they can always engage them to get better understanding, to get better tailored, programs, products, ultimately long-term growth for both. That means you give what they want. They're so happy. Customers are so happy to buy from you again and again. They stick to you for long term, and that's where you build long-term customers. Okay. And that's what DMC wants to do, and I hope that you also want to do, because at the end of the day, it is very important to build long-term customers. Do you know? I don't have the exact statistics, but what I know is it costs about 2 to 3 times more expensive to acquire one new customers rather than taking care of the existing customers and getting them to buy again and again. Yeah. So I don't have the exact statistics, but I'm very sure to acquire new customers is so difficult, correct or not? It is easier to keep selling, keep marketing, keep giving value to people and people buy from you, to the existing customers who likes you and happy with your product or your services. And that's what we want to do. And of course, we want repeat businesses also, correct? And all these things as a community is easier. So I just want to get your opinion, right? If you have two choice of, I'm going to use an industry, random industry, let's say insurance agent, okay? And one insurance agent, they follow up with you on a week, not to say weekly, maybe they follow up with you on a quarterly basis. They ask how you are, is there anything that you need? They ask about your family, just a very short conversation, but straight to the point. And upon renewal, they also say, hey, you know what? Your insurance needs to be renewed and you have to pay for it. Compared to another insurance, let's say insurance B, who doesn't talk to you, sell you the policy, and next year when you have to renew, they'll call you, hey, it's time to, he never talked to you for 1 year, and then he or she pretends to ask about you, and then, you know, and remind you, a gentle reminder that your policy is expiring. Do you want to renew? Which one will you buy? The first one A or the second one B? The one that follows up with you on a quarterly basis, or the one that is, once in a year call you and pretend to ask about you? Which one will you buy, A or B? So I think most of you will choose A, correct or not? Because end of the day, people who care, companies who care, more likely you'll buy from them again and again. So as a customer, we also want that. As a business owner, we also have to give that. So I think that's very, very straightforward, but it's very common. Okay. But again, common doesn't mean that everyone is doing it. Like I mentioned, you just go to a business, they can't even bother to wake up or get up, to greet you. And that is what I see right now. And businesses are losing the touch of the human. You understand what I'm saying? You go into a restaurant, you have the QR code, the waiter don't, serve you. You go into fast food, you press the button and you just go and take. They don't even say hello, hi, thanks, that kind of things. It's losing, I believe. Yeah, we are becoming very cold. So I hope that those who are here today, we bring back that warmth in our community, in our business, because at the end of the day, customers are very important. Okay, let's move on. All right, so I'm going to give you some examples of huge businesses, what we can do, what we can learn from them. So I'm going to give you examples of business leveraging on community to build their businesses. All right. So let's go. So Salesforce. Now Salesforce is a platform where you for salespeople, it's very good to track your people. So what I did in the slide, I chose a few big companies who are very consistent in what they are doing for many, many years, and Salesforce is one of them. And we know what they do with their community, they increase their customers' trust. Okay, so they have a dedicated space they call their community Trailblazer, community for Salesforce, for the customers, for the partner, and for the staff. So I put a link here. So later when I pass to you this PDF, you could also take go through everything, the community, you can learn from them how they do. Because of the short time, I can't really break down exactly what they do, but I give you all the links so that on your own time, you can go in, see what works, see what doesn't work, see what they are doing, how are they updating and things like that. I think that's amazing. All right. So this is Trailblazer community by Salesforce. All right. It's completely free. You don't have to pay for anything. And they update you. And, by the company updates, by the partners who have in the group, they also have the customers helping each other. So it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. So that's Salesforce. What else we have? Let's go. Oops. We have Lego. All right. So Lego is getting insights. So how they use the community is they get insights from the community feedback. And you know what? They actually ask their customers, hey, you know what? Can you tell me what Lego do you want? And actually people respond to them. And you know what? They actually build Legos for their fans. So that's amazing, right? You ask customer what they want, and customers tell you what they want, and as a company, you build Legos, you build a set for them, and that's super cool. And I think that's amazing because at the end of the day, if you are a company like Lego, how many probably 30, 40 years, already establishing this. I'm not sure how old is Lego, but I think they're very old, right? But my point is this: instead of getting smart people, hiring expensive people to think, do customer research and business research, if a company, if you can learn from this, if you can have direct access to your customers, once you build a community and you can ask them, hey, what type of products do you want? They give it to you. So that is so amazing because at the end of the day, it's so direct, it's free, direct to the customers. You can do poll, you can, cross, votes and things like that, and that's something that they do. So let's go to the Lego. So again, the link is here. This is their website, the Fan Engagement and Programs, where you can see they call them Lego Ambassador Network. Yeah. So this is something that I also learned and I'm also implementing in the company where we call you DMC champions because you're a champion for learning, listening to all our things, and you are part of our community. So that's what we do, right? So it's good to give a name also. So we have the Trailblazers, we have this Lego Ambassador. So it's very interesting. Okay, Lego fans, the kind of things. All right. So let's see what else we have here. Okay. Apple. I think Apple it's a very common brand. We all know Apple. So for Apple, what they or how they use their community is to strengthen their brand reputation and credibility. So what do they do? It's a platform for a place where users can ask questions, share solutions related to Apple products. Do you know that Apple community is so strong, right? The people who buys Apple iPhone, specifically iPhone, I've seen them a lot on TikTok. I see them a lot on YouTube. I see them a lot on Facebook. I see them a lot in all the social media. These people, they actually share how to use iPhone, all the secret tips, all the secret hacks, the buttons that you press. Apple don't really have to train them. I mean, train us as a customer to the full functionality of iPhone. They become so good at what they're doing, and they leverage on the community to do that for us. Do you realize that? And it's completely free, and people just enjoy sharing about, in the specific, Apple's iPhone. Yeah, so there's something very interesting. And oops, yeah, something very interesting. I don't have a link for this, but you can just type in Apple community. You can actually see that, and I'm very sure that you have also seen all these people sharing about the iPhone hacks. Yeah, you can just YouTube now also. Just open up YouTube, website and just type in iPhone hacks, and you see so many contents on all these things. And these are done by the community. All right, these are all done by the community. So let's move on. Now, Harley Davidson. This one is quite interesting. They call themselves the HOG, Harley Owners Group, where community members do share their experience. So what they do is, hey, in the community, right? They say that, hey, you know what? I'm going to hang out today. I'm just assuming. Let's say they have one group in Malaysia, and they will do like, hey, I want to go to north to south highway. Do you want to have a gathering with me today? And all these motorbike fellas gather. I mean, in Malaysia, we see a lot of mud rumpit. You understand what I'm saying? And do you realize how the mud rumpists actually gather also? It's quite interesting, right? Now, I believe they use WhatsApp. I don't think they're so advanced to use a community group like a website or things like that. But I'm sure they have a website, a WhatsApp, sorry, not website. And this mud rumpit will just say, hey, let's go and hang out at a Shell station at, Kepong, for example. And then 20 people bring 50 people, 50 people bring 100 people, 100 people bring 500 people, and then you will see such a big group gathering. That's a community, but not in a good way. But in Harley Davidson, the same thing what they do. They organize rallies, they organize events, they organize charity rides, they create opportunities for members to connect and share their experience. Now I know that Harley Davidson's community tend to be rough, rugged, right? But I've seen them doing especially charity rides where they raise money for cancer patients. You can read about it. It's so amazing because they all love motorbikes, yeah, and they use what they love, their passion in what they're doing for a better, gooder cause. Sorry, there's no gooder cause, a better cause. I'm just, for a good cause. So that's interesting, and I feel that if you build a community and that kind of values can be transferred to your community, and it can add value. And when people, see things, hey, it's all the Harley Davidson gang, the brand name actually gets free branding, free association with charity. Do you realize that? Free association with charity. But in Mark Rumpet case, it's not a very positive thing, but I'm just giving you an example of maybe a negative community. But do take note that a community can work both ways, yeah? So that is HOG, Hawk. All right, Sephora. They provide space for community. Again, this is, I believe, is a makeup brand, yeah, Sephora, and it's providing a space for community members to showcase their experience and creativity. Uh, this is Sephora building brand ambassadors. Now you can also take a look. It's called Beauty Insider Community, where they actually share the makeup tips, makeup techniques, and girls who are just learning to make up or professional makeup artists all group together. They share things. Oh, such a wonderful thing when I saw this, and they build brand ambassadors. And when you are a brand ambassador, what happens is you can branch out, your community can branch out to, let's say, influencer. All right. Today, TikTok is so huge, right? And they want all these brand ambassadors to come in. Hey, can you promote my product? Can you promote my cafe? Can you promote my businesses? And if you're a brand ambassador for a particular product, a particular brand, you can actually charge more. I mean, this is for people who are working as a brand ambassador. But as a business, just imagine, like if you're Sephora, you can use this. Let's say you're on a cosmetic line, or you are in a similar like makeup and things like that. You can build all these things, and that's where community comes in, and they become your brand ambassador. So I know for a fact that brands like Amway, they also have brand ambassadors. Yeah, that's I know for a fact because I worked with them before. And what they do is they appoint people who keep sharing content, hey, and then Amway actually picks them up and say that, you know what, can I engage you to be our brand ambassador? And there's other perks, which I do not know what are the perks because I'm not a brand ambassador, but I know Amway engage all these brand ambassadors and pay them, give them benefits, a lot of benefits, I would say, to be a brand ambassador of Amway. So I believe you can actually do that also because end of the day, that's what we are doing, right? We're providing a space for community members to showcase their expertise and creativity. So I think that's very, very important. All right. So if there's any questions, let me know in the chat. But as I go along, I will share a few more things, right? So let's move on. Okay. So now, how do we create value for community? So you've seen all these big brands, right? You've seen all on how they use leverage on community to build their brand as a business owner. And because of the community, they have grown exponentially. They've grown so big that you find it So amazing, right? But if you're starting up, how do you start up? How do you set things up? So I want to next session now. I want to share with you what value can you create for your community, and you can pick one or two, or maybe you can do three. Up to you. End of the day, get started, and that's what my goal. Upon listening to this, you have some ideas how to get started, um, and leverage on all these things that you have learned today. So the next session will be creating value for the community. So let's move on. Okay. So what the easiest way, and I think anyone can do this, any business can do this, is providing educational content. Okay, so like HubSpot is CRM platform where you have all these customer relationship softwares to engage with a customer, and you know what? They also teach you how to do and use all these things more than just their platform. Okay, they have courses, they have certifications, and most of it are completely free. Hmm. So they have HubSpot certification also. So you can take a look at it. It's called HubSpot Academy. They are doing and focusing on digital marketing. Okay, this is what I know. So they provide valuable resources that help community members, their members, improve their knowledge and skills related to their industry or related to their product. So this is something good. And of course, HubSpot is international. They are all well known. I believe they are a $1 billion company, and they are even growing more and more. Okay, so that is amazing. That is something that you and I, even though you have no idea what to do, just provide educational content. So you might think, huh, I'm a makeup company. Do like Sephora, providing makeup tips, tutorials. I sell food, Charles. What do I do? Teach them how to cook. Teach them the nutrition of your food. Teach them to mix and match. Give them cooking tips. You can do that. No matter what business that you're doing, you can provide educational content. I think this is the most fundamental, this is the most easiest, because people who are interested in a particular topic, a particular niche, will be keen to explore more. Whether it's finance, whether it's even a lawyer, you can give fun tips, fun laws. Because in the lawyer industry, they are always perceived, like, especially in Malaysia, very expensive. You cannot reach a lawyer unless you pay per hour, that kind of things. So perception can change, right? Now, when I did a consultation with very, very famous lawyer. He didn't leverage on TikTok, but now he leveraged on TikTok. He leveraged on social media. He tells what's happening during the trial. Of course, not the in the details, but he tells a lot of big things, right? One of the biggest example I can give you is the Bella case. Oh, he was the lawyer for Bella case. He was telling the whole world, not whole Malaysians, yeah, hundreds of thousands of um, views, yeah, on the case, right, on social media. He got famous instantly. He's a very good lawyer, but when you leverage on all this TikTok, social media, Facebook, why not? Correct or not? And that is how even a business like a lawyer who cannot advertise, but they can talk, they can share their experience. So why not, right? So these are some things that you and I can do by providing educational content. So I'll give you a good example. Of course, HubSpot. Of course, we also do that at DMC. We do exactly what HubSpot do in a very much smaller scale. And I do not know whether you all realize this or not, but we do have a YouTube channel. It was started about three years ago, yeah. And during MCO we were quite active, but after that, slack a little, but we are picking up again. Okay. When I last went in, which was yesterday, I was surprised that we have almost 14,000 subscribers. Yeah, so we started very long ago, about 3 years, but it's picking up. Yeah, just subscribe, and whatever topics that you like, whether it's SEO, whether it's business, whether it's psychology or marketing. There's so many things here. Okay, there's WordPress, there is e-commerce, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, in Mandarin also. Wow, amazing, amazing. All right, so we are getting started again. This was good to continue, but yeah, 3 years ago, correct, 3 years ago. Okay, so do join. Just want to share this with you. This for you. All right. So as usual, you can provide educational content no matter what field. Okay, this is what I want to share with you. So Patreon. Patreon is a platform where you can leverage on membership, and I believe that membership is one of the most powerful business model in the whole wide world. To me, it is something a content, so you can share content like what I'm doing now, and then at the same time compile all this content, edit a little bit, put it into a membership program, and make it into a membership program. Yeah, so it's something amazing, and you can do it with Patreon. So it's exclusive access and discount. Sign up with them. I've not used Patreon. I mean, I've not personally used Patreon, but I've used it to access a lot of courses. And I think that it's so easy to get started. You don't have to have any skill sets whatsoever. As long as you know how to click. Patreon is a very good place for membership site. Very good place for payment gateway. Very good place for membership subscription model. Okay. So what they do is they offer community members early access to new products, services, and provide special discounts and promotional offers. So again, one of the benefits when you have a group as a business owner, when you have a community, and if you add enough value to them, then you can also sometimes talk about your products, talk about your promotion, and people buy from you. Okay. So that is what we do. So it's not just running ads on Facebook and then bringing them to a sales funnel. That's one of a sales funnel. Nothing wrong with that. But it's also good to build a community. So at the end of the day, when you give so much value to people, and people ask, hey, is there anything else that you have? I have so many questions like that. And I'll just tell them, oh, we have this, we have that, we have that. And people will just buy from us. So if you will get started, if you don't have any skill set or you want something, you want something fast and easy, just go to Patreon. Okay. So here you go. So it's pricing. Let's go to the pricing. It is not that expensive. It is free to get started. You can take a look here. Once you get the slides, you can just click on it. There's no affiliate links. I just want to give you as it is. And they take 8% of this, and here they take 12% of this. Okay. So not bad, right? Not bad. As a business partner, that's what they do. So that's Patreon. So let's move on. Okay, GoPro. So GoPro uses UGC. UGC is a very popular term. It's called user-generated content. Okay. What they do is they do contests. Yeah, contest is one of the most amazing things, one of the most powerful things. Because at the end of the day, you just imagine. I just want to show you how GoPro does it. They host contests to encourage members to create and share content related to the brand. So they give a theme, and you must use GoPro. And the one that is the best winner, the one that has the best engagement, depending on their contest rules or whatever they want, they will win up to $1 million challenge. Oh, up to $1 million challenge. So you just imagine, yeah, GoPro offering up to $1 million to GoPro community who did the best based on their metrics. But if you can read here, okay, they were more than, let me just show it to you. Okay, they generated 130,000 website in 2019, and then they gave out 1 million, correct or not? And you know what? That surprised me when I did my research on this. They actually 42,000 clips submitted and 45 people won. Okay, let's take 42,000. Let's take that maybe one person can submit how many clips? This 42,000. Let's say one person submit 4 clips. Is it okay on average? So there are 4,000 people who purchase GoPro. So now, how much is a GoPro? I'm just curious. Anyone knows? I don't have a GoPro, but when I read this, I'm just doing my rough calculation. They give a 1 million bonus, for this program, this thing. But they got, let's say, I'm just calculating for 42,000. But I don't take 42,000 people who buy. I'm just taking 4,000. I'm just taking 10% of it because one person can submit 4 or 5 clips, correct or not? So I'm just doing that as a calculation. 1.5 thousand ringgit, is it? So 40,000. I'm just curious. I'm very curious. Okay, I'm just going to take my calculator. I can't find my calculator, but I'm going to use this. 40,000 times 1,005. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60 billion. Correct? Is it 60 million? Sometimes too big number. Yeah, 60 million. 60 million. So to me, 1 million you give out to people, but if you get sales, like 40,000 sales, and people using your product and submitting it, I think that's amazing. I mean, that's how smart people think. And I want to think as a business owner, you can also do this, right? So sometimes the word is be careful because a lot of Malaysians actually use UGC contests, but they will say things like up to 50,000, up to 1 million, up to 2 million. But you know what? That 1 million is divided by 100,000 people, for example. So you probably get only maximum 200 ringgit, 500 ringgit, because it's up to, correct or not? But they actually gave 1 million and got 42 winners, splitting 1 million. That's not bad, actually. So, I mean, if I were someone that's interested in GoPro and they had this contest, I already bought the product, I'm already interested in it. Why not? I just participate in something that has a potential to earn. Does that make sense? So this is something that I think GoPro did very, very good. And I just want to share with you. And they use user-generated content. They got the people to vote. They get the community to participate. I think it's totally amazing what they have done. Okay, so that is something that you and I can follow. Okay, so Adobe has a lot of design software. So what they do is they have creator spotlight, and I think that's nice. And I think DMC can implement this also. If you think you have a specific skill set, a case study, or a story to share with us, let me know so that we can highlight you, we can interview you. If you are shy to do a presentation like this, we can always ask you question like a podcast. No problem. Because we want to highlight you, we want to spotlight you. You understand? Using all the skill sets that you learn to do whatever that you're doing, and seeing success so that other people can learn. And I think we can also implement that. But let's talk about Adobe here first. So Adobe regularly features artwork created by its community. Um, of users, Instagram account. Yeah, they give a platform to showcase their talents and gain recognition. So if you are a designer, correct, and you are on the Creator Spotlight by Adobe, how would that feel? You can put it in your resume. Wow, you know, and you know what? I'm very sure Adobe gets hundreds of thousands, maybe on a million hits every month. Agreed? Hundreds of thousands, even a million hits on a website every single month. So if you were on that page and you are being highlighted by Adobe, wow, people will just contact you, people will just highlight you. Maybe, just imagine the opportunities that they get. People want to hire him, people want to engage him to do his work. People want to, maybe Pixar just want to say, hey, you know what? Since you're on Adobe, can you work for me? Can you do some projects? You see, everybody wins when you have a platform, correct or not? The businesses win, Adobe. The people who uses Adobe product also wins, and people who are in the community who wants to engage with services also wins. So I think there's so much benefits to community building, and I want to share this with you. All right, and of course, Adobe is huge, but then again, it is okay because we start small, but we grow to the biggest. Sorry, we start small, but we grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Correct? That's what we do. Um, I mean, how long was Adobe? How many years, they took to do all these things? And I think we need to understand that because sometimes you only see what success people do, but they don't see the struggle. Like, oh, the last 50 years they have done that, the last 30 years they have done that, the last 10 years. The only differences between those time and us is now we can reverse engineer people. We just follow what is good on other businesses and we leverage on our own. So that's something that if you can do, please do. Okay. Dropbox. Okay. This is Dropbox paper. So what they do is when they build things, yeah, Dropbox, it was a cloud-based solution software, and now they started building Dropbox paper about 3 years ago. Yeah, and they involve their community members in the product development by seeking their input, just like what Lego did. Correct. But I'll give you another example, and this is what they did. So during the development, they actually ask the community for feedback and things like that, and it's completely free. Yeah, so I just want to share this with you also because today also I went to HRDC. So for those who do not know, HRDC is Human Resource Development Center, and they are going to launch a new product somewhere in October, and they invited all these uh, people who are in the industry in the digital. Okay, so they call it a digital coaching platform which they are going to launch. I can't give you the details because they said upon launching only they can. But what they did was exactly similar to Dropbox. Of course, they just call all these experts in digital. Hey, I want to hear your feedback. What do you think of it? Oh, so people, upset. People are happy. People are condemning. People are agreeing to it. It is okay because at the end of the day, when you're doing a product, you need real feedback. The worst thing that you can do, and I also made these mistakes before, and I hope that you don't make this mistake, is building something that you think is good as a business owner. You shock somebody, you will like it, and when you launch after 2 years, 3 years, nobody wants to buy. And that's the worst thing that can happen. Might as well you get all the negative during development so that you don't waste time, you don't waste money, you don't waste all the resources in building that. Does it make sense to you? But you only can do that based on community. If you don't have a community, you go ask around, uh, it doesn't work. You understand what I'm saying? So build a community, and you can do this. Okay, so that's something that you can do, good for your businesses, and this is something that even Nike does it for their what do you call it, their shoe. They don't actually call it shoe, but they have a term for it. I can't remember the term, but their communities, they are very careful about their product. It's not just a Nike shoe. It's suddenly I can't think of it. I do apologize for that. Okay, Slack. Slack is when they build a community, they want to make sure that they are inclusive and safe environment. So this is something. Slack is we also use at DMC. It's a free platform. You can of course use it for free, and if you want more, you can pay for it. Um, and what they champion is inclusive and safe environment. So what they are doing is they're creating a space for committee members to feel heard, valued, respected, and where they can openly share their experience and perspectives. So that's very interesting. And just want to show you this, and you can take a look at what they are doing. They're sharing, they're teaching to make enterprises, to make companies like you and I, to be even better. So that's what they're doing. So they're giving a lot of tips, they're giving a lot of value to businesses who use their platform. And even if you don't use, you get access to all these things. And I think that's amazing because end of the day, um, I think knowledge is everywhere today. We are overloaded with information. So that is where we need to have a community so that, we keep engaging because when they like you, like I mentioned, they will continue sticking with you and following you. So I think that's very important, right? Attention is one of the biggest currency that businesses can have today, right? So that's like, and this is one of my favorite community that I personally joined. It's called SEO. So SEO community where all the experts, all the SEO, search engine optimization experts, they come in all over the world. You can see, all these big giants, they gather and they gather every year. And this is the guy by Matt Singers. He's the owner of this event. He gathers all these experts. He's been doing it for many, many years, and every year he's doing it. So what he does is he hosts webinars, meetups, conferences, allow community members to learn. So it's offline, online also have, offline also have, connect and engage in each other. So the interesting is he really gathers all the experts, and he doesn't gather newbies. That's quite interesting because all the experts comes in, they can learn from each other. So that's very, very interesting. Um, he doesn't charge that much, probably about I think $100, if I'm not mistaken, 150, $200 maximum. It's not a lot. And he gives you 3 days, but hotel, flight, you pay your own. But what I like it was these community events that I can go, meet people, rub shoulders, take photos. Sometimes it's just not online, but you can also do offline. So end of the day, people just want to get away and just have a holiday at the same time learn from each other. So this is something very, very good. If you're a business and you think that you can do community events, I know a lot of businesses in Malaysia does it. Yeah, I've been invited almost every week to events, and I enjoy, networking session. I enjoy, getting to know new people, seeing what they're doing and things like that. So this is something amazing that as a business owner you can do. So um, my last sharing of today will be the key principles of effective community building. Um, no, I'm going to share not the second last. This is the third one because end of the day, I'm going to share with you some softwares and I'm going to share with you some metrics how you can actually validate whether you're doing is good or not. So to me, these are the values for key principles for effective community building. So of course, you need to be authentic. You need to have full transparency. I think when you build a community, you need to expose yourself. So especially a management group, they need to be exposed. You cannot hide behind the scene. You cannot hide like a big corporation, that you don't, and it can be a little bit daunting, I feel, right? You want to be there, you want to be in front of people. That's difficult. But you must, okay? I think that it has so much value when people know you by name, especially with the CEO, the top management of the company. That is very important. Okay, you must be always listening, and when you're active listening, it's not just listening. Active listening means you're always listening out for feedbacks, um, positive reviews, negative reviews, and it's okay. To me, I think that negative reviews are a good indication that people actually want you to improve, rather than they don't say anything and they just hope and curse that you die. That's even worse. So to me, I think whether it's positive, negative, I think active listening is amazingly good, and make it two-way communication. If you want to find a platform, which I'll introduce you in a short while, find a platform that has two-way communication. If you want a little bit of full control, you don't want it to get too overwhelming, you can post a particular topic and the thread at the bottom, people can participate in that. And I think that's where two-way communication, especially when you're building something. Okay. The day will come when you have 100,000 subscribers. The day will come when you have 500,000, 1 million subscribers. And I still think that the fundamental is still engaging. If you really cannot engage, the amount of traffic, get people to engage. It's okay. Okay, but you need to have two-way communication because to me, this is very personal. If people actually take the time to comment, we as the company must also take the time to reply the comment. And I think that's just um, social attitude, yeah, just social etiquette that it's just fundamentally good. If people take the time, you also must do that. Okay. Uh, Inclusivity, respect, no matter who. When you have a community, you will have a lot of difference of opinions, and it's not a platform for you to preach. That's very wrong, right? A building a community for your business is not a platform for you to preach that you are the way that you only want to do things. No, if you have a platform or community, if it's two-way, you're active listening, you have to respect even though you don't agree. And it's okay. It is totally okay. You share your points, I share my points. And if you don't see eye to eye, we leave it as it is. I learn something from you, learn something from me, and we move on. I think that's being adult, right? Not arguing on the internet. And I think people who argue on the internet, they have a special place in um, they're just like special people, special Olympics, I would say, for you, for this kind of people, because at the end of the day, why would you want to argue on the internet? I have a lot of disagreement on the internet, and I say thank you for your opinion, thank you for your views, and let's move on. It is okay. Don't get offended when people don't agree with you or don't follow your ways. I think it's work both ways. Mm, Consistent engagement. When you are starting in the beginning, no matter what platform, no matter what social media you're going to use, no matter what Telegram or WhatsApp, whatever platform you're going to use, do take note in the beginning, in the first 3 months, 6 months, even 1 year, is going to be hell. When I use the word hell, it's going to be so difficult. So sometimes when you talk, nobody listens to you, but it's okay. Sometimes you talk to nobody. And I'm grateful that you are here. But most of the time when I first started, there was nobody. And sometimes I get, 100 people listening. Sometimes I get 1,000 people listening. Yeah, the biggest, a couple of thousand people listening live. So it will happen to you. It just takes time. But end of the day, you must be consistent. If you think that you do one time, two times, three times, four times, I don't see any results. Then you just give up. It's impossible. I already shared with you many, many times on the YouTube algorithm, on TikTok algorithm, on TikTok's a bit easier, on Instagram algorithm. Sometimes it takes 3 months to even see views coming up. Sometimes it even takes 6 months. And when we first started, I can share this with you on YouTube. The first 6 months, I probably only get like, I don't know, 1,000. And you know what? We never pay for advertisement on YouTube. We never even market. Once in a while I market, but end of the day, all those, I would say 99.5% are all organic. Yeah, that means they just come in, but you have to be traction. We have probably more than 400 videos there. So if I have probably double of those videos, I probably can triple, quadruple my views. But end of the day, it has to be consistent. And the idea is do it on a weekly basis. If you really can, if you see all those YouTube that have millions of views, they do it on a regular daily basis. And daily also the 2 to 3 times they post a day. So that is full-time job. DMC is not doing that. But if you want to hit the millions of views, that's the work that you have to do. So consistent engagement is something. Yeah, it's not that easy, but it's very, very doable. All right. Tailor-made content. You ask what you want. If you give feedback, if I can, if my company can, we can, or we cannot, we invite other people, other experts to give you what you want. Because at the end of the day, your voice matters. There's no point a company, you, me, short scenery, coming up with content all the time and nobody listens. I think that's even sad, right? It's better to have, community asking you what you want, tailor-made to you. I think it's very important. Okay. Um, if you have a committee, you will, especially if it's open communication, you will have members disagree with other members. And sometimes, not all members, I told you don't argue on the internet, right? But sometimes not everyone is matured and they will start calling each other names. They call you the mother here, the father here, they call you names, they get upset with each other. So it's good if you're having open communication in your community. Make sure you set very, very strict rules. And it's okay to just personally PM, hey, you know what? I don't appreciate that you do this. These are the rules. One time warning, two-time warning, out you are. It is okay to kick people out because at the end of the day, it's still your community. You might offend, of course, you offend people, but end of the day, it's better to offend one than to, have no control over your community and other members will like, what this admin do not to control his own community? It's a useless community, and they also leave. Okay, so it's good to resolve conflicts quickly. Yeah. Uh, by the way, all my images are AI generated. I just want to share this with you, and I like all these kind of images, right? It's so cool. And of course, you need to adapt, you need to evolve. Yeah. So leverages on social media, leverage on platform, because at the end of the day, these are good things for you to do. Okay, so adapt, evolve, um, get some ideas from other communities, learn like what I'm doing. I study other people. I study what I can do on my own capacity, implement it, step by step process. All right. So I'm going to give you a few tools. So all these are given to you. You explore on your own. But I want to share with you what I've used, what I've did my research, and these are all community building tools. All right. So if you use Discord before, it's a free tool. Gamers love it, but it has now more evolved into community building. Not only gamers use it, but you can also build a community on Discord. So this is something very interesting. It's a free, software that you can use, and you don't have to pay for it. Okay, so there's something for you to take note of. Another one is called Discourse. Okay, so Discourse is a little bit old school. It's more like a forum kind of things, but you'll be surprised that people actually love forum. Now, when I first started in internet, I studied in forums, not social media. So I'm not sure whether you remember. Does anyone of you remember Laoyat? Laoyat forum? Anyone? If you know Laoyat forum, you probably are 30 and above. If you have an account in Laoyat forum, probably you're 40 and above. Did I say it correctly? I'm just giving you a very generous statement, but the old school fellas, we started with forums, not social media. So in today's age, there are still people who use Discourse as a free forum for you to use. Of course, you pay for more features, or you can get started. Yeah. So there's something. If you think that is something for you, your demographics are people who are like to read a lot, who like to type a lot. This is perfect for you. All right. Uh, Influitive. Okay. Now this is a little bit expensive. You can do it on your own, but you can check it on your own, but it's very expensive. I think it's about 2,000 a month. Yeah. But what it does, it does everything for you. It manages your campaigns, it reward customers for sharing, referrals, reviews, anything that if you want your community to do and you want to reward them, it's all in one platform. Influitive is one of it. All right. So, like I said, it has a good benefit where if today you want to track how many people share and you want to reward them, go for it. This is an expensive tool. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 2,000 a month, but you pay for what you get, lah. I'll say. Okay. Now, Ambassador is a referral program. Okay, it's a customer advocacy tool where they just try. Okay, you don't have to build on your own. If you know WordPress, you can build on your own using some plugins. But if you don't know how to build, this is not that expensive, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Ambassador. It's a customer advocacy tool where you can track all your referrals. So if today, if I ask you, hey, can you help me promote this product? Or can you help me promote these services? And you say, sure, give me a link. So this will do it automatically for you. You give a link, and if a customer purchase, let's say you give a 30 days window, and within that 30 days, the customer purchase, you can accredit these sales to the person who gave you the referral. So that's amazingly good because at the end of the day, all e-commerce, all big companies, they have a tracking link, but it's all inbuilt lah. But if you think that your company doesn't want to invest so much, you just want to go on a monthly basis, Ambassador is one of the best tools for you. And if you think that hey, it's growing so well, then you get an expert programmer or a web developer to build a tool for you like Ambassador. It's not expensive because there's many plugins there. But if you want to get started to just test things, do it rather than build everything, then only implement. Correct or not? Don't make that mistake. Never make that mistake. Okay. Oops, sorry. It's a link. All right, Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a social media management tool. Yeah, I think this is very common. I think most of you will know Hootsuite. So I put it here because it's still old school, but they adapt, and up to today, they're very relevant. You can schedule your posts, you can engage your followers, you can track analytics, multiple social media platforms. So I think it's very, very affordable. It is very easy to use, and definitely I will recommend Hootsuite. Buffer is another old tool that I also personally use. What happens is it helps you plan, it helps you schedule, analyze your social media campaign. So basically, if you spend one day or you ask your team or whoever, just spend one day for the whole month, just post. With AI today is so much easier. I believe also Buffer has AI, if I'm not mistaken. They've already upgraded to have AI content and things like that. You can just, post all your content in one shot and it will just schedule. So that's what Hootsuite does very, very good. Okay. Now, Tint is more towards UGC content. So a lot of people go to Teen and not tell what they're good at, what they are promote. So if you want influencers, this is a good platform. Okay. So if you really want influencers, go see. Now I also joined a personal group on Facebook. You can search for TikTok Malaysia Facebook account, and um, I probably will share in the group because I can't remember the exact URL. But what happens was they actually have businesses, small businesses, very small businesses, and TikTok influencers who are starting up, and it's perfect because they'll say like, hey, you know what, one session of influencer, I promote for you, 50 ringgit. I was like, oh, 50 ringgit is cool, you know. These people are a little bit more expensive, but do take note there are platforms like that for you to engage all these people to use, right? Your post the same. Okay, so this one also, they have SMS, loyalty referrals, reviews, subscription basis. Uh, Especially if I do e-commerce and you want them to, share your experience, one click of a button, they share, and it can be tracked, and any sales can be credited to you. This is a good platform. Okay, there's so many platforms like this. I'm just giving you to tell you what's in the market so that you begin to understand. Hey, you know what? It's so easy to get happy customers to help you market rather than get always new customers. So this is something we call user-generated content. Okay. Zendesk, it is a platform for, how I said, communication. Yeah, um, you can put even e-learning, if I'm not mistaken, on Zendesk, right? So it's quite straightforward. You can do email, you can do chat, you can do social media on Zendesk. It's more towards a customer support tool. Now, Eventbrite, I think all of us know because quite common. It's quite a free tool. You can of course pay for it, but I think most of us use free. You just post your event there, and you have to publish, correct? And people can sign up for free if you have an event. So there's no excuse if you do not have this platform. Use Eventbrite if you have a event coming up, and you will get people who are interested to join the event. Yeah, we do it on our site, DMC also, and we do get people to sign up, yeah, for free. And these are additional places that you can use. So Eventbrite is something that is totally amazing. Meetup is very similar to Eventbrite. It's called an event management tool where their tagline is where interest becomes friendship. So that's what they do. It's a community building platform where you gather. Let's say you want to do let's say, a stargazing event, okay, and you want to have that event, let's say in a PJ for whatever reason, Petaling Jaya. Use platforms like Eventbrite, use platforms like event management tools, and automatically those people are interested in that particular field, especially stargazing, will see your event, and all this platform will just show because they know all the data. When they have all this data, they will just blast out to all these members who might be interested, and if they're interested, they will just sign up. And all these are free tools. Yeah, of course you can pay for further, application, but all these are quite free for you to use in the beginning. All right. Um, Google Analytics, if you want to see how much time they're spending on your website, where they are going on your website, what browser they use, what phone they use, either they're using iPhone, either they're using Android. You want to know what is the gender, male, female, you want to know where they are from, what country they are from. One of the best tools to use for free is Google Analytics. I love this tool a lot. Yeah. And if you like this tool, I do have some experts who can share how to implement these tools on their website. It's amazing because it is free to use, but I don't see a lot of people using it, especially business owners. But the data that you can collect from Google Analytics is amazing. You can track users' behavior. You can track what they like, what they don't like. How much time they're spending. Anything you can track, and you'll be so amazed that you can track a lot of things. Yeah. Even if you're married, also they can track. Whether you're how many houses you have, also they can track. Google can track. So it's very amazing. Yeah. And whether you're single, and so whether you're married but you have affair, I also believe that Google can track. Okay, so this is amazing. You're probably thinking, how do they track? If you come to this topic, I can share that with you. So all these tools are for you to use. Yeah. Another software, if very similar to Google Analytics, so this is a paid software. It's called Tableau. Yeah. It gives you more data. It gives you more summarize your data. For Google Analytics, you need to summarize your own data, correct or not? But if you want a paid service, let's say, for example, based on my e-commerce store, what is the number one product that is selling the most? You can just ask Tableau. Tableau will just offer you the solution. So you don't actually have to do research. And they also have AI inside there so they can analyze your data and give you suggestions. All right. So, of course, free tool to use, but you want to use the full leverage, you have to pay lah. So these are things that for you to take note of. Okay. HubSpot is amazing. So it's a CRM tool. Yeah. And yeah, I use it. I used to use it, but it became very expensive in my opinion. So I don't use anymore. But the starter is about $30, like I mentioned, but if you really want to use the full features, it goes to a few $100s a month. So this is something for you to take note of. Yeah, but it's a CRM tool, and I really like the Academy, and but the CRM is also very very good. Okay, just to share with you. Salesforce is another CRM tool. Yeah, they have now. See, a lot of people are moving into AI, right? Because now they can track your customer. They can tell you how many people like this, what do they like, the kind of things. So all these things using AI now has made it much, much more interesting. All right. Now Salesforce is very good because they build a community. They have a very strong community support, but this is for you. Okay. Um, Email marketing. I will recommend you this too. Do not use MailChimp. If you are using MailChimp, you are in trouble because it's one of the worst, in my opinion, platform for email marketing. Use Constant Contact, and you have design, send, track email, the kind of things, right? And what I personally use is Active Campaign. Okay, so if you ask me what I use Active Campaign. MailChimp, they hate you, yeah. For whatever reason, they just ban you, and when they ban you, all your database will be gone. So that is something that MailChimp is very famous for. Okay? Even though they're very commonly used, yeah, be recommended by other affiliates because the commission payout is very high. But I don't want to earn the commission. I just tell you as it is. Yeah, use Constant Contact for email marketing or Active Campaign. If you ask me another one, it'll be Drip. This also good. Okay. Feedback Survey Monkeys. So uh, this is a good feedback tool, free to use. Yeah, you want to get surveys, you want to know opinions, run a survey, send out to your database, and get the feedback. So that's what we do. Okay. Typeform is very interesting kind of what do you call this? You can go step by step. Question one, question two, question three. The graphics representation in the form is amazing. Google Form. Have you seen Google Form before? If you have to fill up Google Form, you have to take, fill up. It's very boring. It's very, very plain. I would say Google Form, but Typeform, they have animations. They have like stage 1 of 5, and then after they finish, you go 2, you go 3, you go 4, you 5, and then you completed. You're happy. So those are the additional things that Typeform have. But go and play with it. Again, free to use. Of course, again, everything is for freemium, free to use. You can pay for more things. All right, but use it. All right. So these are things to use the tools to build your community. Okay. All right, so I will end with this. Yeah, how to track your community success. Yeah, so how do you track? So when people ask me, why do we do all these things? How do we know whether you're doing is valuable? How do you know whatever I'm doing as a business owner is moving towards the direction that I want? So end of the day, you need to sit down and ask, what do you want to achieve first? Of course, giving out to the community is the main primary, right? But what do you as a businesses want to achieve? So these are the metrics that I want to share with you so that you can use and start leveraging on it. You can pick one, you can pick two, you can pick three, up to you. All right, but you have to pick. So you want growth in your businesses. So you want the numbers of new community joining over a specific period. Uh, in DMC, this is our main metric now, growth. We want to see how many members join in. So I want to hit like 300 by this month end. That's my target. All right, every month another 100. And once you reach 500, 1,000, you go up to the next thousands very, very easily. So that's what's important, growth. Be specific, okay? Churn rate means how many people left. We also have people leaving because they come in, they spend 1 week, this is not what I want, they leave. So you want growth member, less churn rate, okay? But you need to set all this up front, okay? In the beginning, you do not know, correct or not? You do not know, try, assume, guess. It's okay. 2 months, 3 months, like that, I will do more. Up to you. But make sure that you set some metrics. So number one is growth. Number two is engagement. Okay. So engagement means how many people, when you ask questions, they engage. How many people when you do an event, they stay up to the end. Those are important things, right? How many people when you post something they like, they comment, they share. So these are engagement metrics, and a lot of social media people love to use this as a metrics. But do take note, engagement doesn't mean sales. Do take note, engagement is not sales. It's two different things. Engagement is people just engaging with you, but sales are two different things, correct? So don't mix up together. It's just like in politics, a lot of people attending your ceramah doesn't mean that they'll vote for you. You understand what I'm saying, right? So that's engagement. All right, retention metrics are people who spend how much time, how long they are. So if you have a very high churn rate, 1 month they go, 1 month they go, then your community takes a very long time to build because people come, people leave. So you need to have all these things. If you have a website, you want to see how many times they log in. So we also track. Can I just share with you how many times you check the Telegram group in our DMC champion? I'm just curious. In a week, is it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times? Can I just get this very rough number? That'll be good for me also. How many times do you log in to DMC Unimas, DMC Unimas pula, DMC Champion on a weekly basis? Just let me know in the chat. Yeah, please. Okay, so that's retention metrics. Value metrics is your customer lifetime value. How many times a customer buy from you in a year? So that's your lifetime value of a customer in a year. So if your customer stays with you for 2 years, you times 2. If your customer for 3 years, you times 3. But you need to know how many times a customer buys from you. So in the marketing also, you have products that will sell how many times to a particular customer. Upsell, cross-sell, all right? So you need to engage, talk to your team, talk to the development team, and understand all this. Because customers can only buy when you offer things, all right? When you want that. How many times does a customer refer customers to you? So if one-to-one is good. So you have 100 customers, 100 people will refer to you, for example. So there's something for you to do. Okay. Now, customer support is also like when people have problems in your community, you ask for support. Maybe you're too busy or you forgot to see or whatever reason. Suddenly, the other members come and help. Or once you achieve that, that's value metrics. Correct. So, yeah, thank you for that. Okay. So that's value metrics for you. So we have also content metrics. You need to know what gets the most engagement. At DMC, I will tell you this. I do not want clickbait titles. For example, how to make 1 million by using 100 ringgit in 30 days. How to make 100 million with just 1,000 in 90 days. I promise you, we will never do that. We will never do that because at the end of the day, we want to be different. Yes, if I post those kind of topic, I will get hundreds, even thousands of views. I know I will. But that is not what I meant by popular content. Okay. UGC is sometimes people share content and then post in your community. So in my DMC community, we don't allow that because we don't have a platform for that. But if you want to do, if let's say your industry is more like cooking recipes, share your cooking tips, you can do that. Does it make sense? Yeah, or photography kind of niche, perfect. Okay, like what GoPro did, perfect industry. So up to you if you depends on your industry. So that's number 5. Number 6 will be net promoter score. So for example, this one we are professionals to do it, but I'll give you a good example. So today, if you ask your members, how many of you will recommend DMC if I were to ask you to recommend? So if you get 10 people, you said 5 people say yes, 5 people say no. So you got 50% NPS. I give you a very simplified version. Okay, but people do it in a big scale. So they go randomly, they ask people, do you know about this brand? Do you know about that? That's how branding does. And they will give an NPS score for all these things, right? Feedback and suggestions, if you ask for feedback, people give to you is good. So government also like to ask for feedback, but depends on you whether you want to give the government or not. Yeah, feedbacks and things like that. So feedback metrics are a metric that you can consider in your business. All right. Event metrics will be very simple. How many people registered? How many people attendance? We have X number of attendance today. I'm very sure all of you registered, all of you came. Because you know that we deliver. So it's a very small community, but it's a growing community. So that's what we do, attendance. Event feedback, if after the event you want to get more feedback, you can do that. I think that's good to have, right? Event feedback. All right, so there's something for you. That's number 7, event metrics. Number 8, sentiment. Okay, so if you ask, do you like what they are doing as a community? So they say, no, I don't like it. Oh, I like it. So positive, negative. Now, this one mostly, I can give you the best example with politicians. So especially in the US, not in Malaysia. Malaysia also do it, but in the US, if they want to have the community sentiment analysis, who will you vote for? What party do you want, the Republican or the Democrats? You will see the sentiment analysis very accurate. And in the US, these people who can do this, they are paid millions and millions of dollars to do this. And you lost 1 point, you lost 2 points, just like a stock market. In Malaysia, we don't really have it, or I don't know about it yet that much, but in the US, it's very, very strong, right, in the community building. So sentiment analysis is very good for all these things, right? Um, Business impact. So if you are a business and you want conversion rate, meaning if let's say today, assuming that I'm giving value and then I'm setting up at the end, which is a very common technique, in webinars and things like that, you need to know your conversion rate. So if you do an event, let's say a physical event where you join an expo, you also need a conversion rate. Any things that you do, you need to have a business impact metrics, conversion rate of people who buy, people who fill up the form, people who, whatever conversion rate that you want to set. Doesn't have to be sales, but make sure that you set first. So if you hit 5%, 10%, 20%, you hit the target, you don't hit the target, you over the target. You need to have all these things because then you know whether you're doing is worth your time. Okay. So when I do for webinar for conversion to do sales, I roughly know for 10 people that attend, 2 to 3 will sign up. 4 is good, 3 is normal, 2 is the minimum. So I know my closing rate is about 30-40%. So that's what we want to do. So at the end of the day, you must know your own conversion rate. Of course, again, upsell, cross-sell, I leave it to you. So that is something that you need to set. If you do not know, you can ask me in the community. Talk to me. I probably can help you with this, right? And the last one is advocacy metrics. So end of the day, when people really like your brand, they will start promoting you. Or maybe the friends ask, or the business colleague, hey, do you know any digital marketing training company? I really hope that you recommend DMC as one of it, but I really hope that. So that's what brand advocates are. So if you are a brand owner, if you're a product owner, you want people to at least recommend you the top 3, top 5, top 10, at least they'll recommend you, rather than, you don't vote for that fella no good. That's one negative branding, all right? So that is called advocacy metrics. You advocate positively to a product, to your service, to your business partner, to your friends, to your colleagues. That's what we do. If you have not joined my YouTube, please join. And if you have, for whatever reason, have not joined my DMC Champion, scan the QR code and join. And I really hope that you participate more. And if possible, please invite your friends so that they can benefit together. Now, having said that, once again, thank you so much for your time. And yes, we will definitely give you this presentation deck, but you need to respond to the community because we don't give to everyone. Those who respond, we give. Because to thank you, you come, you listen, you want this, right? Us in the community group, we definitely give you. Thank you for those who are recommending. I do appreciate you so much. All right. Having said that, bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.